We'll say something like this. If it is a midterm exam, midterm exams are scheduled. Midterm exams are scheduled on normally first, if let's say if there are 2 semesters, January, February, March. Okay, let's say March, right? Midterm exams are scheduled on March, and then March, and then it is final exam most probably May or June. Or July, August, September. Okay, September. Okay. Midterm exams are on either March 15, if it is 15, or let's say 15 or 20, 15 or 16, right? Let's say now, okay, Sleep normally in Sleep, like we have like the graduation days is like on 15th or something like that. Now let's assume midterm exam, if it is 15 or 16 of midterm exam scheduled on 15 and 15 or 16th of 15 or 16 of March or September, right? That means third or September, March, January, February, March, 9th month, no? Yes, 9th month, right? Now, and final exams. Final exams are scheduled on, let's say, 29th or 30th. Let's say final exams are scheduled on 29th or 30th of June or December, is it? November. What is it? June or November. Right now, November. And right now, these are the dates. Right now, what I want to do is, I want you to ask user to enter the day and the month. You need to ask user to enter the day and the month, and using a case, I want you to try to handle this. If required, you could put if conditions as well. Right now, I will give you some time for you to try out. Now, once you enter the day, you ask user to enter the month in number, right? Let's say if it is March 3rd, right? March means 3rd. September. September means 9. If it is June, we need to say 6. Or November, which is 11, right? Okay. Now, if it is, you need to ask user to enter day and the month. If user enters day as 15 or 16 and the month as 3 or 9, then you need to say midterm exam. And if user enters 29 or 30th as day and the month as 6th or 11th, you need to say final exams. If it is any other day or any other month, then you need to say no exams. Right now, this is what I want you to do. Right now, is this clear? Can you try out? I'll give you 4 minutes time for you to try out, and thereafter we will do this. I'm gonna copy one of your answers. Right. Let me take a copy. Now the question says what? Not this. Control C here. Control V. Right. We need to get the day and month, and I'm gonna make it as a comment. First of all, what does we do here? We get the day, we get the month, and if it is case 15 or 16, very good. Multiple cases. How do you handle the multiple cases? Right now we use the okay, this operator 15 or 16 if month equals 3 or month equals 9. You have midterms today. Okay, if it is 29th to 30th, you have 6 or 11. You have final and you are safe for today. Right. You are safe for today. No exam. But if it is the question which I have asked you to do, you won't get marks
I
because I
guess I
have
have
specially
missed
mentioned
the final bit.
midterm exam,
The
final exam, and no exam. Right. So if it is an exam question which I have given to you, I won't give any marks, huh? Now today it's
yes,
okay.
I didn't notice. My
No,
apologies.
it's okay. Just kidding. Code dy and right dy space code dot dy. Day number 15th and month number 6. You are safe for today. 15th and 3 midterm exams. Yes, this is how it should work. Right. Great. Okay, now also I have received another 2 more answers. Great, great. Okay. Right now, this is how you can use this as well. Right now, can we try out? Right now, can we print? Okay, let's see. You need to get the temperature in Celsius from the user. Get the temperature in Celsius from the user. And now this time I'm going to give you a range of values. Okay. Get the temperature in Celsius. If if it is temperature is greater than 35, you need to say hot. If it is 25 to 35, you need to say warm. And 15 to 25, you need to say cool. And less than 15, temperature in Celsius. Temperature in Celsius. Less than 15, you need to say cold. Right, now this thing, how could you do it using a Python match clause? Try out. So then we are moving into loops. Quickly send me the answer. Now it's enough time, no?
So I'm not sure how to do this one, sir.
So we need to get the temperature in Celsius, and then let's say match temp, and we'll have temperature. Now we need to in case temporary, there is temperature. If temperature is greater than 35, if greater than 35, it says hot, right? And if it is yes temperature, if temperature right now is in between 25 to 35, then 25 greater than or equals to temperature, and less than 35, 25 to 35, 35 above, no? It's 35 above, 25 to 35, correct. And hot, warm, and then we can have 50, 15 to 25. Cool. If not, we're gonna say cold. 35, it says cold. 35 cold. It has to be equal sign. Hot, if it is 40 hot. If it is 34 warm. If it is 25 warm. If it is 24 cool. If it is 15 cool. If it is 14 cold. Minus cold. Right, now this is how we do it. Right. Okay, this is what we have done using how can you use if statements also with by combine if statements with Python match, or in other terms you call it as guard clauses. Right now Python match with if guard clauses. Right. Now there are some you can match multiple clauses as well, but here we haven't learned yet about the collections data structures. Right now here in Python we have something called list, tuple, set, dictionary, likewise some data structures that we need to learn in near future right now. So we haven't learned yet about those. So I'm not gonna do about how can we have multiple cases here as a tuple. So once we complete the tuple data structures, let me know, remind me, then we would discuss further about how to work with this match clauses. Right.
Excuse me, sir.
Sorry,
Sir, how is it possible that we are able to refer
I
to?
can't hear you.
Sir, how is it possible we are able to refer to the temperature variable in the match clause itself?
Sorry, how to?
Is it possible to use the temperature variable in the match
Y-
case as
Yes.
well, even though we
Yes.
are matching
Now
the
because
temperature variable itself?
because we have the guard if now first it will check the temperature and then here based on this condition it will return the value to this case.
Okay, so it relies on the if statement.
Yes, that's why we call it as guard if.
Okay, understood, sir.
Is that clear?
Yes, sir. Otherwise, it would be an infinitely recurring loop, right?
Yes, yes, right.
Okay.
If you want to try out more, we could work with the marks as well. Um, right, if it is the marks in between, okay, let's say the same thing we could have changed. Less than 45 fail or grade F. If it is 45 to 55, quickly do it, then grade C. And 55 to 65, 55 to 75, let's say grade B. And 75 to 100, A. 75 above, let's say 75 above, A marks, 4 marks. Okay, quickly do this. If it is less than 45, you need display. Right. Okay. Now, right now, I will just show you one of your answers. It asks you to enter the marks if it is 7500, if it is 55B, if it is 45C, if it is 35A. Right. Okay. This is how it works. Right. Now, I think it's enough now. Yes. Right. Remind me once we complete the tuples as well and the list data structures, then how can we do match the multiple values in the case. Right. Now we are going to now we have discussed about if conditions else with else and else if statements we have discussed, and thereafter we have discussed match statements. Now we are going to talk about loops. Right, looping constructs. Right now, if you want to do the same thing, like some, if you want to repeat some task, we could use the looping constructs. Right now, now let's see what are the looping constructs available. What are the known loops you have? There is something called while loop, and there's something called for loop as well. Right now, we'll see what is the while loop and what is the for loop. Right now, inside the while loop, now start from the while keyword. While is a keyword. Right now, here we have a condition, conditional evaluation. Either it has to generate a true or false. Right, as long as this condition is true, it's gonna execute the body statements. Right now, print hello. If you have written print hello, and if you just close it right now, now this is always the condition is true. Therefore, this will be an infinite loop, because infinite times now this loop is running. So right now you don't see anything, right? Whether it get updates or not, you don't see. For that, let's say I'm gonna mention that I is equals to 0, and hello I am gonna print hello and comma I, and thereafter I'm gonna have increase I value by 1, I plus d equals 1. Right. Now you can see how the I values are changing. Right now you can see this is an infinite loop. Why? The condition is always true. Now this condition is always true because this never become false. Therefore, if you're writing, first thing you need to make sure is the condition has to be false, because as long as this condition is true, the body statements get executed. Right now here the body also, since here we don't have the brackets, the body statements also we indicate or we represent using the indentation. Now you know what is the indentation. That is the white space in front of us. Right now here we have kept the same space. I have put the type space. Then you can see now it has run like nearly around 600,000 times. Right now within a short while, this would be around 1 million times it has run. So let me stop. When you end up by having running an infinite loop, now we need to avoid this. In order to stop this, you need to press Control and C. Control plus C. Control C. That is the keyboard interrupt. Therefore, if you want to stop any infinite loop running on your console, press Control key and C. Control C is to keyboard interrupt. Right now, while this condition is false, let's say while false. If you have while false, if you run this, nothing happens. Why? If the condition is false, it won't print the lines. Right now, let's say now since I is equals 0, now I can put any condition which will evaluate to a boolean value. Now I less than 10. Right now, it is true at the beginning, and eventually in sometimes it will stop. Right now, right now, if I run this, this will run up to when until I become 10, and then it will stop because 10 less than 10 false, so it will stop. Therefore, when it is at the beginning 0 less than 10 true, 1 less than 10 true, 2 less than 10 true, 3 less than 10 true. Likewise, it will go up to 9 less than 10 true, then 10 less than 10 become false. Likewise, this is how the while loop is working right now. Therefore, you can remember that while loop will execute its body statement. Now, these we call as the body statements as long as the given condition is true. As long as the given condition is true. Right now, what will happen? Right now, if you forget to increase the I value, now what will happen? If you run this, if you forget to increase the I value, now what will happen?
It will run infinitely.
Yes, it will run infinitely. Why? Because I value is always 0, I value won't change, and it checks whether the I value is less than 10. Yes, it is true. Therefore, it will run infinitely because I value won't get increased. Therefore, when you're writing a loop, you have to make sure every time you make progress towards its termination. That means every time a loop runs, it has to make a progress towards its termination. Right. Now, if you want to print 1 to 10 numbers, let's say starting from 1, and you want to print 1 to 10 numbers, I less than or equals to 10, and print I. Likewise, I can type then it would, okay, and then I value has to be increased by 1, I plus C equals 1, I plus C equals 1, and then right now it would print like 1 to 10 numbers. Right now this is how you print 1 to 10 numbers. Okay. Try to print 1 to 100 numbers. Quickly do it. Yes, right now, yes, this is one of the answers you have sent me. Yes, if you want to print 1 to 100 numbers, this is how you could do it right now. Okay, now can we have a small modification? Right now here, I want to print only, let's say from this, I want to print only the even numbers, only the even numbers. How can I do that? Only the even numbers. Right now you are displaying unto 100 numbers, no? So I want to display only the even numbers. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to check if I modulus 2, if it equals to 0, then I'm going to say print I. Otherwise, I won't print the I value. Right now, what will happen? Now you can see here I'm printing only the even numbers. I'm printing only the even numbers. Inside the while loop, I have put an if condition as well. Right now, this is how I can just print only the even numbers. Right now, if I want to print only the odd numbers, that is also possible. Right now, then someone may argue, okay, why are you putting an if condition again? We just increase, if you set the starting value correct and if you increase by 2 always, you will get this, no? Yes. Yes, that is correct. But you don't know what is the starting value. Because we don't know what is the starting value, right? Okay. Now I want to write a program to get the sum of 10 numbers. Okay, so sum of 1 to 10 numbers. Sum of 1 to 10 numbers. Sum of 1 to 10 numbers. Right now, first one is, okay, get me sum of 1 to 10 numbers. Then print and print uh, 2 to 10, 2 to 20 even numbers. Print 2 to 20 even numbers and calculate total. Um, mhm, mm, Take only 10 positive inputs from the user and calculate the total and average. This is the third one. Right. Take only 10 positive inputs in between 10 and 1, 10 and 20, 1 to 20, 1 to 20, 1 to 20, 1 to 50 from the user and calculate the total and average. Right now, total. And then count number of digits in the given in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And thereafter reverse the number given. For an example, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, quickly do this and then enough exercises for while loop and then we need to discuss furthermore. Let's say let's make it as a comment. Uh-oh. Right now 1 to 10 numbers I equals 1 less than or equals to 10 and then there we declare a variable called sum equals 0 and then we could say sum plus equals I, sum equals sum plus I, and then we can increase I value by 1, and then finally we could say the total is the sum equals to we can declare some variable, right? Then 1 to 10 numbers, it says 50. and print 2 to 20 even numbers right now. That also possible easily. Right now, if it is I equals 2, and then right now, if you want to print the I value, print the I value, and we can mention as previously. Now, if we started from 2, then I plus C equals 2, we can say I plus C equals 2, and until I less than or equals to 20. Right now, we could print like 2 to 20 numbers. Right now, do the third one and fourth one and send it to me, the answers, please. Third and fourth one is the same, no? Uh, how do the third one, right? Take 10 positive inputs from the user and calculate total and average. Right now, let me delete these answers now. Right now, we need to take 10 input from the user, right? So we will have I is equals to 0, OI is equals to 0, and then 1. And right now, we need to, okay. First of all, let me think. Right, let's check how those who have done, how did you do it? You have entered any positive integer. Right now, you have to make sure on the rule. If it is not an integer, we need to make sure, like, if it is integers only, the positive integers only, we need to take it. Otherwise, we need to forget it. Right now, how can you do it then? Let's say we will have count or something, or x equals or y equals 0, and the sum is equal 0, while I less than 10, since we are starting from 0. And then we can say n equals int input a number. We'll ask user to enter a number, and thereafter we can check whether what if the number is greater than or equals to greater than 0, not equal, no, greater than 0, then only we need to increase the sum equals sum plus n, and we need to say I is equals to I plus 1, and then we can say sum equals this, right? If you want, you can mention the input number as well here, right? Number. Okay. What does it say? Okay, input number, right? And then here we can't do it like this. Okay, just forget it. It has to be a string. Okay, we will use left strings later on, and if it is minus 5, minus 4, minus 6, 0, 0, 0. Okay. Then you get the total as 55. 1 to 10 numbers I have entered. Right now, this is how you do this third one. And fourth one, this is done. And this is only a small modification that we need to do. Positive, we don't need to check the positive, right? Anyway, it is on to 30 and yeah, it is a positive number, right? So if n is greater than, we need to check the n is greater than in between 1 and 30. Right now, how can you do it? Right, either if you want, you could write it using two conditions, or right now you can say if one less than or equals to 1 less than or equals to n less than or equals to 30. So you can get that one done. Right now, let me, okay. If it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, they not taken. If it is 10, if it is 1 to 30, no, yes, then 1 to 30 numbers, no, yes, then that is correct, right? Yes, 1 to 30 numbers, yes. Then that is how you do it. And then, right, count number of digits available in this. Then you need to come up with a way to figure out the number of digits in this. There are 6 digits, right? So we need to display that how many numbers here in this one, right? Then, right, how can you do that? Right now, we need to think. Now, this is where the experience comes. This is where your logical thinking help you, because knowing the program right now, whether you know Java, whether you know Python, learning the syntaxes are easy, because even you can just search the web and you can use the you can learn the syntaxes, right? But when you have given a situation, you need to figure out a way to do that. Now, once you look at the question, right now, count number of digits available in this given number, right? Then how can you do that? Right now, if you get an idea of how to get the number of digits, then converting it into a program won't be a much problem. Even now, today's there are a lot of AI tools are there. No, you can ask AI tools to convert this like this. Then, right. Therefore, only thing is writing the program is not the issue. You can learn it, but you need to practice when you have get a question how to find the solution for it. Now, the question is count number of digits right now. Is there any way we can get the number of digits available here? How can you get the number of digits available? Right now, that's what you need to figure out how to get the number of digits. Can you give me a hint? Um, right now, if you know the string methods, right, then if you take it as a string, then you can say using the length method, we can easily do it. No, sir. Right now, your answer should be that. Okay, who cares about the while loops? Forget about the while loops. You may ask, okay, now why are we so worrying about the while loops? Right? It's just a matter of, let's say, whatever the number you want to get. All right, now let's get the number. And then let's say we don't need to convert it to integer. Why do we convert it to integer? Let's get the number, and then let's print the number with the number of digits will be given by the length of the string. So we can do it like this, right? Then it says 6 digits right now. This is what you can easily do. But now I'm not expecting you to do this, right? So we have done this already from the very first day. We have used the length method and we knew this already. But this is not what we are asking to do, because we are learning while loops. Then we need to find out a way to do this using a while loop. Okay. So think. I will give you a hint. For these two questions, you need to work with a division and the remainder. You have to work with division and the remainder. Then think how to work on this. You can work with division and the remainder. I will give you a hint. Right? Now for an example, for if it is this number, right? If you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, if you want to get the last number, you can, if you modulus it by 10, it will give you the last number, right? And 6. And then if you divide it by 10, you can get rid of by the last number. Floor division, right? So I think if you think about this operator and this operator, you would be able to do a lot of things. Try out, think, and let me know. First one, now I need to get the number of, okay, let me get the number. And now, let's say the count is equal 0. Then while number is, okay, number means n, right? While n is greater than 0, I'm gonna say n divide equals, floor division equals 10. And every time I increase the count, here unt count plus c equals 1. And then I'm gonna print number of digits. Number of digits in n is count. Oh, why is it? Modulus equals 10. What does it say? Isn't n equals, this is how you do the division, right? Isn't it? Oh, not this, no? Yes, this is wrong. And n equals n, so divide by 10. Mhm. What is wrong? Here, my bad. Not reading the line number, no? You should read the line number, no? First of all. One, two, three, four, five, six. What does it say? Okay, you have to get it as integer. All right, int. One, two, three, four, five, six. Six. Number of digits in 0. Okay. Now the number has been changes to 0, no? So we have right? Like this, you could do it. Right now, quickly do the other one. If it is not clear, please ask. Because what happens here every time, like for an example, let's say if we enter 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1 you divide floor divided by 10. Right now it becomes 1, 2, 3, 4. Remaining is 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, right? Again, when you divided it by 10, it become 1, 2, 3. And then when you again floor divide by 10, it takes 12. And you divide 12 by 10, it takes 1. Divide by 10, it gives you 1. And 1 divided by 10, it gives you 0. Therefore, while n is greater than 0, then it gives you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then it gives you 5 as the answer. That is how you're going to get the answer. Okay? Because here this is going to give you the answer as 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 1. Here it going to give you 0 as the answer. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. This is going to give you the answer. Okay? This is how you do this. Right now, other thing quickly, I don't have time to waste because we need to start with the for loops as well. Quickly do it. Is that difficult? Is it? Okay, what to do? Okay, let's see. Now I have given you hint as well already. So we'll get the number first. Right now we have the number, and right now we'll right. Then again, while n is greater than 0. Right. Now what I want to do is I want to this is original or something. I want to have the number. Number is equals to number modulus 10. Right now I get the first time I get 5. Okay. And reverse. Okay, we'll have the reverse variable declared. Reverse is equals to 0. Reverse equals to reverse multiplied by 10 plus the number. And then because n modulus 2, right. Now we need to divide the number by 10. So we have ended by now 2, 3, 4. Okay, reverse of original is reverse. Then let's delete this. Let's try it out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. See, this is how we do it. Is it difficult to understand? Now what happens? First, the number n contains 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, n equals 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and thereafter now n is greater than 0, right? So the while loop continues greater than 0, true. Then number variable become 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 divide modulus by 10, then it gets 5. The reverse is equals to reverse is 0, 0 into 10 plus 5. Reverse is equals reverse is 0, 0 into 10 plus 5. So that gets 5 as the answer, and the number become n become 1, 2, 3, 4. Right, now the next time, now again while loop runs. Now number is 1, 2, 3, 4 greater than 0, right? So last digit gonna be 4. Then now the reverse is contains 5. Then 5 into 10 plus 4, that gives you 54. And then when you divide 1, 2, 3, 4, floor division by 10 gets you 1, 2, 3. And then now n contains 1, 2, 3. So the last digit gonna be 3. So now 54. 54 multiplied by 10 plus 3 become 543. And now 1, 2, 3 floor division 10 gives you 1, 2. Right? Then n equals 1, 2. So greater than 0, true. Then last digit gonna be 2. Then 543 into 10 is 10 plus 2 become 5432. And in 12 your floor division by 10 is 1. Again, n is 1. 1 is greater than 0, true. Then last one modulus 10 is 1. Now we have 543 divided multiplied by 10 plus 1. 5432 into 10 plus 1 becomes 54,321. Right now, 1 floor division 10 is 0. Now, n equals 0. N equals 0 less than 0 become false. So, while loop will stop. While loop stops from here. Is that clear?
Yes, okay. So can we declare variable inside this function?
Sorry,
Loop?
can you declare?
Declare variable inside a function?
Yes, you can
Is
inside
now
we don't have functions here. That means can you declare the variable inside the block? You can ask. Is it here
yes,
inside the while loop?
yes,
Yes, Pute. Then we
yes,
can't keep a track of the value. No. Then every time, for an example, if you declare it equals 0 here, then every time this loop runs, REV or the reverse variable becomes 0.
no, my confusion is, num the variable called num, if it
You are not
is declared,
clear to me. Can you speak louder, please? Yes, Dulaj?
the variable num is declared to declare inside the while loop.
Yes, NUM is just to get the temporary, this is declared to have the temporary values. Then this value get assigned when you divide n by n modulus 10. And then we have it, well, we have the value here. And then we use the value to add this into the reverse variable. But then the reverse variable value, when you run the next time, we need to keep a track of, no, because see, here it is, initially it was 0, right? Initially it was 0. Then let me write. Initially it was 0. Then here we use 0 into 10. Thereafter you assign it to 0 into 10 plus 5. That becomes 5. Then you keep 5 and you use 5 into 10 plus 4. And then that becomes 50. Then you use that number. Therefore we need to keep a copy of the number. Because every time the loop runs, we can't reset the number. For an example, let me show you. Okay, shall I clear the screen? Right. If you want, okay, you don't need this explanation no? Right now. Let me delete it and then I will keep the code for you. Right now, let's say I'm gonna keep a call. I'm asking user to enter the numbers. Okay. I'm asking user to enter some numbers, input numbers, and then let's say I want to ask user to enter 5 numbers. Then I is equals to 5. So I'm going to say I less than 0, I less than 0, and I less than 5. Okay. I equals 0. So I less than 5. And I'm going to ask user to enter the numbers. And then I need to, I have variable called sum equals 0. Okay. And I need to assign sum equals sum plus I, sum plus n. Okay, let's say I need to ask user to enter 5 numbers and take the input. Okay, I less than 5. I'm gonna ask user to enter a number, then sum equals sum plus n. Okay, and later on I'm gonna print sum is okay. I'm gonna print the sum variable value. Right now, what do you think? What would be the answer? Let's say okay. Now I'm going to run the program. Okay. Now, if I enter 1 1 1 1 1 1 5 times, what would be the answer? Dulaj, what do you think? I didn't hear you, Dulaj. Is it 1 or is it 5? Anyone?
One.
1 or 5? Tell me quickly. Noat, is it 1 or 5? Dulaj, 1 or 5? I think we both spoke at the same time. Dulaj, again?
It's one.
1. Why is it? Yes, it is 1. Right now, this is infinite running. My bad. What's the problem? Because we do not increase the I value by 1. I plus C equals 1. Because it's my bad. Sorry for the delay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then it's 1. Why? Every time the sum variable becomes 0. Every time sum variable becomes 0. Every time the sum variable becomes 0. So then the after becoming 0, you increase the value. You insert the value at the user entered value. So then that number become the that is the only value that the last time whatever the number you entered last would be the answer. For an example, if you enter 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then answer would be 5 because you just at last you entered 5. So this is the problem. You can't keep the variable declared inside this. Is that clear to you, Dulaj?
Yes, sir, it's clear.
Right, great. Okay, now there may be scenarios where we need to put if right in a loop inside a loop. Right now, for an example, let's say you want to print 1, then 1.1, 1.2, 1.3. Right, then 2, then 2.1, 2.2, 2.3. Likewise, you want to print like up to 5. So in that scenario, how can you do it using a loop? Right now, that is also can be achieved by putting a loop inside a loop. Right now, let's say I is equals to 0 and while I less than 5, then we could print the I value. We could print the I value. Then that would print the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? So, and then I can increase the I value by 1. Then again I can have, let's say j equals 1. I can have j equals 1 and I can mention like j less than 3, less than or less than 4 and print I want to print I value. Right now, let's increase the I value at the end. Okay. All right. Now I want to print I value first. I value, comma, J value. And I need to print a dot as well, right? I dot J value, right? And then I need to increase the J value by 1 every time. And then finally I increase the I value by 1 as well. Right now, if you print this, now it would print, since I set 0 as I, then if you want, you can set it as I equals 1. Now, 1, 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, 2, 2.1, 2.2, 2.3, 3, 3.1, likewise, you can print like this. Because every time now, the first loop runs, it prints the I value. So it prints I. Then J value set to 1. And again, there's another loop starting from 1 less than 4. That means 3 times it's going to run. And each time it's going to print I value dot, that means 1 dot J value. Therefore, 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, 2. 2.1, 2.2, 2.3. Likewise, this is how it's going to get printed. Right, now try out this as well. And then try to print okay, you don't know. Right, now I want to print 1, 1, 2, 1 space, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, also like this, because we don't know how to print on the same line yet. No? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I want to print like this. Try to figure it out. How can we do this quickly as possible?
Sir, my question was,
Okay.
variable is declared in the loop.
Sorry, Dula.
It is
Which one is declared? J. Okay.
Inside the while loop.
Okay.
Not at the beginning. So when we exit from this loop, is that variable still available for
No,
other
Pute, no.
other?
After the loop. Okay, here. Okay. If you try to print J value afterwards, right now, here you can print the I value. You can print the I value. Right now, okay, now forget about the values. You can print the I value, right? I value you can print because I value became 5, no? And then if you try to print the J value, because I value declared outside the method, so I value is available here. Now, if you try to print the J value here, now, here, now what happens now? Now it says J value is equals 4, right? Now, here you can see J value is also available here. Now, because we were trying to do inside the loop right now, inside the while loop, we declared the J variable, but now it is technical, it should not print outside. Right now, what it is printing now, that is a problem of a global and local variables. Right now what do you think? Now this is right not now you are asking whether is it possible for J variable to get printed outside, no? Because now J is printing after the loop, because now J is declared inside the loop. J is declared inside the while loop, and after the J is outside the, when you are printing the variable J is outside the loop as well. Now that is because of J is still in the scope. Right now the J variable scope has not left yet. Right now, therefore, in Python, now if it is any other programming language, now this won't be available to access, right? So now this variable j is still there because now the inner loop which has while j less than 4, that is the inner loop which is incrementing j until it becomes 4. Therefore, after the outer loop means this one, I less than 5. This after the out loop finishes, I become 5. After out loop finishes, I become 5, and the loop stops. But the j value is still available. It get printed as 4 because Python variables defined in loops remains accessible after loops as well. Right, but now this won't be possible. Right now, if you work with a function, now for an example, let me have a function called, let's say, define, define fun, define function, and let's say there you have there you have a j equals 10. There you have j equals 120. And then, and here you print the j value, which is, okay, 10. Right. And then you can call the function. You can call the function. And then if you try to print j now again. Right now, okay, colon was missing. Right now you can see here. Right now, it gets printed 10. Now, j is available only inside the function, but the function scope has left now. Now, the function scope has left. Now, this is another difference compared to Python and other programming languages. Right now, here, in other programming languages also, this behavior is the same. Right now, here, the function, now the inside the function, we have declared the variable j. But outside the function, when you try to print the j, now it is not available. So it says name j is not defined. Name j is not defined. Right now, but previously, right now, let me get back to the previous code. Right now, here, this is what I have. Right now, let's say now I had j. Right now, let me put another loop. Let's say whether how long will it take to keep a copy of this one. Right, while I less than 5, print I plus equals 1. Right now I equals set to 0. Right. Right now, if you mention it like this, and then now I'm again gonna print I and j. Right, maybe the scope would be still because we are in the same place, right? Now where we have made a mistake, right? Okay, no need of this code, no. Right now you can see still j is printing. Why j is printing? Because still we are inside a loop, the variable declared inside a loop. So the scope has not left because remember Python variables defined in loops remain accessible after loops, right? Therefore, remember that Python variables defined inside the loops, or right we call as blocks, will remain accessible after the loop finishes, because as long as they are defined in the same scope, like now it is in outside, now outside means global scope, it is declared, therefore it is available. Now this is different to if you compare with C, JavaScript or any other programming language, it won't work because Python does not have block level scope. Because like now block level means right now in other programming languages like Java and other languages has block level. Then if it is declared inside, it is not available outside. Now this is the scope of that program. Now this for the while loop, this is the scope. Once you finish the while loop, this scope has left. Once we are here means the scope has left. The while loop scope has left according to the other programming languages. In that case, this is not accessible. in other programming languages, no, J is no longer available at this point. But in Python, variables defined inside loops or inside blocks remain accessible after the loop finishes, because if they have defined in the same scope, it won't destroy, it will be available. Therefore, remember, Python does not have block level scope. Therefore, it uses function level or module level scopes. Now, I showed you a function level scope. Now it is the function level scope right now. That is why here it is available. Right. Therefore, if you compare with any other language, it won't work. Therefore, remember, if it is a function, Python variables declared in functions only available within the function, unless it is a global variable. Therefore, Python scope is by function or module, not by block variables. Then now it is important to write down Python scope is not by block. Python scope is, we'll write it like that. Python variable scope, it's variable scope is function or by module, is by function or module, not by block. Therefore, this is very important to remember. Right, Dulaj? And therefore, if you compare to other programming languages, they have the scope is available by block. Therefore, again, you can remember variables declared in blocks, available, access blocks available after the block finishes. So variable declared in blocks, you can easily say loops, available after the loop finishes.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Is it possible to declare a variable that's, sorry, not a variable, function that is local rather than global?
A function
Yeah, a local function, something like that.
inside a function. That's what you are talking.
I mean, yeah, is it not possible to just declare something as a local function in Python?
Okay, now if you talk about this, okay, we're going to talk about the local scope and the global scope in the coming day once we completed the functions, right?
Okay, sure.
Okay, let me show you a small now. Since you have asked, now I'm not gonna. Okay, let me show you something right now. Okay, define fun. We can have a function called fun, and here we have let's say x equals 10, and then you can print x, right? Okay, and then you can call the function. Then when you call the function, it would print the x value. Right? Now this is because now we are calling the function and we are trying to use it, right? Now if you want to say right now outside this one, right now outside this, okay, now let's say I'm gonna declare another function inside this, and then right, okay, and I'm gonna declare another function called my function. Inside this function variable, I'm gonna call the variable x. Now I'm gonna call the variable x. Right now, outside this one, I have to call it now. Then I'm calling my function. because my function is not accessible from the outside. Right now, when you do it, right, you can see this is now this 10 right now this is a function inside a function. Now some of you may not understand this. Right, forget about it if you feel like this. Therefore, this is a local variable. Now x equals 10 is a local variable. Why? Because we have not declared as a global variable. Now we have declared it as a function inside the function fun. So this is a local variable. But compared to this variable, now we have inner function. So this inner function is declared inside the function fun. So this inner function can access this local variable 10 because it can access the local variable 10. Right. Now here let me show you. If I have declared y equals 10, right now this is a global variable. Right now, if I try to print the y variable, that is possible. Why? I am calling, right now I am printing the global variable y. Now, global variable y is because the variable y declared globally, no inside anything. I have declared the global variable because it is not inside anything. So that is a global variable. In order to declare it as a global variable, you may use the keyword global or something like that. Even for an example, right now, if you want, you can have use the keyword. Okay, right now, let's say y is equals 100, and if you print y and if you try to print y outside, and now it is not possible, right? Now you will get an error saying the y is not defined at the point because y is no longer available. But if you make it as a global, right now if you make it as a global variable, you can access it. Okay, global y is equals to 100, global y, and okay, global y is equals to 100, and I'm printing y. Yes, now you can see I can declare the variable as a global variable, and thereafter I can use it. So that is how I can make it as a global variable, right? Now, therefore, when it comes to once we complete the functions, we can talk about this global and local scope. Right now, since it's very difficult to remember right now, keep things right now. There are some differences in between compared to the other programming languages and Python. Now that's why uh, at the time when you ask at the beginning when you ask about this inside the loop whether it is accessible or not. Right now, I said no, it is not accessible because right now in Java it is not accessible. Right now, according to Java, if it is a Java code, this is not accessible. Okay, let me stop the recording. I will show you. I will quickly show you. Okay, let me. If it is Java, let's say class test. Right now, let's have main method there, public static void main. Right now, this is how you declare method there. And the Java is the variables type has to be declared and semicolons are must. And then while I less than 5, you can't just go, okay, you don't have like this, you need to have the brackets, and then you need to have the curly brackets to define the scope. System dot out dot println, and you can do it like this, and thereafter you have mentioned j equals 1, and here you have put while, okay, integer j equals 1, then again if you put a while loop, while j less than 4, we have curly brackets. Then we need to print, okay, system.out.println, system.out.println, we need to print the I value plus dot plus j, and thereafter we need to increase the j value by 1. Now this is where we need to close the first for loop, inner for loop, and then we'll close this. And then if you print outside this, if you print the I variable, you can do it, but if you try to print the j variable, you will not be able to do so. Right, and then let me close all, and we need to close the method first and the class first. So let's save it as test.java. Okay, semicolons are missing here. All right, here missing, here missing. Now this is what happens when you switch from one language to another language. Right, what does it say? Variable j. Now this is where you get the error. Now you can't find j. See, now j is no longer available here. If j this is not there, it would get compiled. See, you will be able to see the answer right now. Okay, now you can see what's happening with this. Right now, okay, it has mentioned as 40. That's my bad. Right, 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, likewise. This is how it get printed. Now J is not accessible here. At this point, according to Java, it is not accessible. But if it is according to the Python, it is accessible, because in Python, remember, Python variables defined inside loops stay accessible after the loop ends. Therefore, variables defined in functions stay local to the function, and Python's scope is by function or module and not by block. You keep that in your mind. And then any questions you can ask now. The next day we will do some more nested loops questions, and then we'll be starting with the for loop, and thereafter we'll see how to go through. Any questions you have, you can ask now.
No questions.
Thank you very much. And then